It's a
I didn't know Cameron was in the private one.
Hello, everybody.
yeah. I was trying to avoid that Cameron fuck. I fucking hate him.
I mean, you said
But
it, not me.
we're live for a podcast, by the way.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, literally just went live.
We're gonna
Oh.
be reading Reddit stories.
Real quick before we get started, this is what my boy looks like so far.
Hot.
He got a peepus now.
I like that big old chest he got on him.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're gonna be reading Reddit stories.
Thick.
What kind of Reddit stories?
Am I the asshole?
Oh. Okay.
So I'm gonna set him to the
Oh.
side while I start grabbing the stuff to build his arm.
Nick, have you seen the Wilds of Eldraine? Any of the cards from the new set that
Nope.
released recently? They've got some really good anime-looking ones in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that fucking awesome?
Oh, did you guys hear there was going to be a new Studio Ghibli movie coming out that was actually produced by Miyazaki again?
Studio
first one in
Ghibli
years.
movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to also be his last one. But what's
mhm.
funny is that he immediately went back into the office less than a week later after they finished production, and he's like, I have another idea. I don't want to retire.
He's probably he probably did it again and then just got back into like the enjoyment of it.
Who is this again?
You have the green apple sour raspberry sour green apple, don't you? Tristan.
Chance.
Or Chance. Sorry.
He's gonna
Why is
fight
it-
you.
Sorry, I thought Mistigan. Okay,
Mr.
don't hate me,
Destroying
Chance.
Me.
I love you. I haven't seen either of you guys in forever, so I haven't seen your guys' faces.
Yes, you called it right. It is that flavor. What was the guy's name?
Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Is he not retiring?
He's coming back.
Coming
for
back.
one-
Doing another. Cool beans. Alex is excited.
Yeah, me too. Do you know who he is, by the way? My Neighbor Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle.
I've not seen either of those.
Oh my god, okay. Okay. I'm making you watch movies, man.
I've seen Spirited Away. Does that count?
That counts. That's one of the best.
Okay. I've seen Spirited Away a couple times. All right.
Some of them have. Ponyo has fucking what's his name from Taken.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, it has Liam Neeson in it.
Which does?
Ponyo, the one about the
Tina Fey's also
fish.
in that one.
Ponyo. Fish
And
girl.
Tina Fey, yeah.
Tina Fey
Okay.
was also.
Cool.
Are we ready for the first Am I the Asshole
We
story?
have
Wait,
to
where's
get you to
Cardinal?
watch it.
I will say I may only get to be here for a couple of these, but it's okay.
You did me a huge favor. Hang these up for me.
Where'd
And
Cardinal
then
go?
possibly grab the 2 liter. that-
Cargyle is the asshole, apparently.
Thank you.
Am I the asshole for getting up and leaving in the middle of the podcast?
Possibly.
Not at all.
He's back.
Also, Chance, the
Oh.
hair and the beard be looking good.
Thank you.
I think when I last saw you, you were growing it out somewhat still. Not all the way, but like a little bit. Your beard.
His hair used to be really long.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing him with the super long hair.
And he had the
Yeah.
lion's mane.
Yeah, and then my girlfriend
And
left me
now-
for some dickhead at a bar, so I buzzed it off.
Hey, that's a reason to, honestly.
It's alright. You know?
I got the long hair now.
Fresh start. And then I got
Not
told by my
always
boss
work,
the other
yeah.
day that I should shave my head because it looks like I don't bathe with my hair.
Your hair looks styled. I don't know
Right?
how they get the assumption that you don't bathe.
I don't know.
He might
I
smoke.
think
Ah,
he's just
yes.
jealous because he's
Is he bald?
bald. Yeah,
Were you
yeah,
worried about talking
yeah.
shit on stream?
a little bit. Yeah,
Your boss is gonna see this. I'm gonna send him the clip.
I doubt it. I know
do
I've
you
been
know-
doing this for a while. I'm pretty sure they've never once looked at a clip.
Do you know who Brittany Broski is?
No.
She's a TikToker. Well, she's a YouTuber as well now. She's very funny. But she got fired from her job at a bank because she made a video about kombucha and it got like really, really popular. It went viral. People started memeing it. And her boss brought her into her office and said, "You need to decide whether you want to be a corporate professional or a meme." Like, it was her fucking choice to have this blow up.
Like the fuck? Come on.
Okay, this one's short, sweet, and
To the point.
to the point.
Alright,
Am I
let's
the
get it.
asshole? Wait, no, this is not the one I want to do. What the fuck?
Jesus, what are we
Oh,
doing here?
man. That
Get right
doesn't
to
sound
loser.
like short or sweet.
Where is it? Top all time. Was I on Am I the Devil? I'm confused.
I'm
Are
confused how to
you?
put these pieces
Am I?
together.
Are you? Am I?
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Okay, am I the asshole for making a dad joke?
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Note.
Next question.
I
My
am
s-
a dad.
My stepdaughter Madeline was about a year old when I married her mother Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15 and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set a punishment up for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad, I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that, but I understand that she didn't mean it and that she'd probably change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." That sounds understandable to me.
Valid.
You know, you're in
Valid.
somebody's house, you follow their rules.
Yep.
Well, that
happened.
depends on how like insane the rules are, because like there are some parents that are just outright abusive, and they're like,
Oh, I mean, I
you
agree,
can't
but,
even
like,
you can't even eat food while you're here. You have to like go out and get your own food. I'm like, that's
But
I don't think that's the situation here, though. I mean,
for most basic rules, you follow the rules of the house.
yeah.
That happened about 2 days ago, so our family was going grocery shopping. When Madeline said, "I'm hungry, I need food," I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, "Hi, hungry. I'm not your dad." My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment, and my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees. So am
I
the
agree.
asshole?
No, I agree. That's pretty funny.
yeah, no, he's not stooping to a. He made a tier 1 dad joke pun, and like, what?
That was hilarious.
It
He's
was
not
pretty good.
stooping to anyone's level. Like,
Okay,
get less sensitive, mom.
there is a little bit of redemption here. Edit. I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent.
There you go.
I mean, yeah.
So that's an update.
like-
Another mini update.
Yeah, no, that's just good dad jokes right there.
Yeah.
Great. That's like great parenting.
Here's
Oh,
the other.
he's
The other mini update. I'll probably give a full update later, but here's what happened so far. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking with her. "Hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you. That I hurt you by the words I said. And I am really your dad. I changed your diapers, I met your boyfriend, and I plan on helping you through college. And plus, I'm legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter, even if you don't think I'm your dad." Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
it's a sweet ending.
he gave her what she gave him,
Yeah.
which was hurtful words.
Well, and also, to be fair, at least in my opinion, his words were
His, yeah,
base
he,
level pun. Like,
yeah, he did his in such a way that she would learn a lesson rather than be traumatized by him saying whatever he
I
said.
guess out of context, yeah, maybe that could come across as like rude or hurtful. But like,
But here's my thing. That was also 2 days after she said it.
Yeah,
So he was hanging on to it for 2 days.
I mean, he wasn't necessarily hanging on to it though.
I guess-
It's just like, oh hey, I remember this thing,
It was solid callback for sure.
right? Like, I don't know. I don't personally see anything wrong with it, but
So
I think he's alright.
I'm
Reddit,
sure most of these Reddit posts would call me the asshole in most situations anyways, so I don't think
Reddit's-
I have room to talk.
Reddit's verdict was everyone sucks.
Of
I
course
mean,
it was. That's
I
just
don't think
how Reddit
everyone sucks.
works.
Yeah.
That's just how Reddit works. Like, they always think everyone sucks.
I'm gonna read some comments here.
Of course, the daughter marry the dad.
You're the asshole, but a small one. It's a fun joke, but wrong audience. Mm,
I mean, yeah.
somebody said I thought it was funny, but I too am an asshole.
I think good joke, wrong audience is a good assessment of that situation. Honestly.
Alright. Here's the next one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of our house?
What's the.
My
Yeah.
brother-in-law. Okay, it was spaced weird. It's till my brother-in-law and his daughter are out of our house. My brother-in-law, Sammy, lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane, both 18, with him a couple months ago. His sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk into her room and take everything they get their hands on: makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girls' behavior. I completely disagree.
Yeah.
The last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 MAC makeup kit.
Yeah, Mac is a brand.
Yeah, that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it.
Solid.
Yikes.
Okay. And that's the 18-year-old. She's 18, and she's.
That-
I feel like she was just being an asshole. There.
What's the younger sister?
16, and it's her cousin.
Or, yeah, the cousin's 16. Yeah, that's bullshit. I'd stab a bitch for less than that.
Personally, I don't know, man. That's already a tough call as far as like certain
So-
bit context, but like, yeah, no, I don't think this guy's the asshole so far.
So the question is he an asshole for leaving a lock on his daughter's bedroom door so that she can keep the other two out of her shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
no.
not done yet. There's still half a post left.
Okay, what's what?
Yeah.
I don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kid on her bed. This is after the mixing shades come in, and was crying. I told my wife, and she said she'd ask Sloane to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him, he said, my daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement.
Straight up, kick him out of the house.
Yeah, no shit. Fuck him.
First off,
His daughters are adults. They can fend for themselves. He is also an adult. Fuck him.
Well, and also, telling somebody they can't put a lock on a door that's in
In
house.
their own house. Yeah, fuck that.
That's insane. I told him this is between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I
No.
was supposed to treat them like daughters. Then demanded I remove it, but said this lock does not get but I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughter are out of our house. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them out. And said her family will hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do. So she should start with shaming / blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces / granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with so much disturbance at home. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe silent treatment, and my wife is very much upset over this.
I think everyone in this situation is an asshole except Dad and Zoe.
Agreed.
Yeah. And
Agreed.
the dad is the one asking if he's the asshole.
No, for sure not.
And no,
I'm
he's
like,
not the
he's
asshole.
been gaslit.
That's kind of insane.
Kind of.
So this is my take, and it may be a little
Hot.
extreme sometimes. But I think if you're married to somebody, you should be on their side
Yeah.
almost all the time. In a very rare incident, should you not be on their side? And I feel like this is just. I mean, his wife not being on his side is and on her daughter's side too.
Yeah, no
Right?
shit. Like it's her daughter. They're fucking her daughter's shit up.
I think she's fucking the brother.
Oh.
No, that's genuinely like
That's insane.
genuinely though, like that's a huge thing that you see all the time in like stories of spouses getting caught cheating is when they favor the one person over their spouse. So like yeah, she's favoring her brother over her spouse. Like I think they're fucking.
Do y'all want to see a crack lighter?
That's
Crack lighter?
It's just a regular lighter that I've souped up.
What did it show me?
It's just a regular lighter, right?
Yeah.
I've just made it better. I don't know if you see that.
Whoa.
dude. I want.
It stays lit
I
even
want
when you
all
let
this.
go of it.
Okay, hold up. I gotta take this.
Sorry. I just saw it and was like, hey.
Yeah, but anyways, Dad absolutely not the asshole. Literally everyone else the asshole, except
Literally.
daughter.
Have to agree.
Okay. This is one I have read before, I've heard before, and I think it's kind of fucking insane. So, I want you guys to hear this. Cargill, you may have heard this because I know you've watched some Am I the Asshole stuff.
Mhm.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's mother she raised a fucking sociopath who needs to be in a facility?
Okay.
Yeah, this one too. So I, female 26, have a boyfriend, male 24. And recently he got into a dispute with a neighbor's kids. They accidentally kicked their football into our yard and they came into the garden to get it back. TBH, I didn't care, but my boyfriend started screaming at these like 11-year-olds about how they are poorly raised and their parents should be ashamed. I was fucking mortified. I sent the kids some chocolates and sweets and apologized profusely for his behavior. I was seeing red flags and told him this behavior was not normal. He kind of brushed me off and I told him if he pulled anything like this again, he was gone. The next week, the ball came into our garden and I was about to throw it back to the kids when my boyfriend stormed outside and took the ball inside. I told the kids that I would bring it back in a minute. He went into the bathroom and emerged 10 minutes later, wearing gloves and a football covered in shit. His own shit, what the fuck? I asked him if he was out of his fucking mind, but he stormed past me and threw it over the fence screaming, "Take that, you bitches." I screamed, and girl, I mean screamed at him about how he was a fucking douche and I wanted him out of my house. And he is a disgusting fucking monster and that they were just kids. I screamed and eventually he left. I deleted all his games off his PS4 and gave it to the kids as an apology. I was so embarrassed.
That is the one instance I've heard where deleting games off of PlayStation is actually justified.
Well, hold on. I know a little bit about that too. What happened? My ex-boyfriend's mom, messaged me asking what happened, and I responded with, "What happened? What happened? You're a pathetic excuse of a woman who raised a fucking sociopath who covered a football in his own shit and threw it at some kids, and he needs to be in a facility because something is wrong with him, and God knows how I hadn't seen any red flags about the fucking monster you raised during the 7 months we dated. I know I'm in the right for what I did to my boyfriend, but am I in the wrong for snapping at the mother for something she had no direct involvement in?" I think she is the asshole for snapping at the mother, because that's what she's asking.
Well, I mean,
Mom definitely had a hand in all of
raising
that
him,
behavior.
yeah.
Especially after what happened, I feel like it would be weirder
She
if
made
she didn't snap at her under the
She made that guy.
Like the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, I definitely think that you are the asshole because you should have called the cops on him.
Yeah, it's definitely illegal to cover a football.
Yeah,
in your own shit,
it's
that's
so
assault
gotta
with
be
a
some-
bodily fluid.
Yeah, some kind of
technically.
assault charge
I
there
mean,
on that. Against
assault with
minors, too?
biohazardous material, I guess, would be.
Also, I can't find it, but somewhere in the comments she mentions, because somebody said something about the PlayStation, and she said, "I bought the PlayStation."
I mean,
I don't care if you bought the PlayStation. That's those kids' PlayStation now.
Agreed.
Well, that's what somebody was saying, that she shouldn't have done the deleting his games of the PlayStation and giving it to the kids if it was his, and she said, "I bought it, so it was mine. It was mine to give away."
Nah, he doesn't deserve that PlayStation. Anyways, even if he did buy it,
Huh?
I'm fully on her side no matter what in that situation.
Yeah, that one is insane, because who covers a ball in their own
How did he
poop?
do that, by the way? Did he just, like, fucking shit and then wipe with the ball? Or did he shit on the
No,
floor?
He was
and
wearing
wipe-
gloves.
Yeah,
He
she
picked
said
it up
covered.
and smeared it.
He picked it up out of the toilet and just smeared
Yeah.
it all over the ball.
And he had the gloves in the bathroom. The gloves were in the bathroom, so he was
already planning this shit.
he was planning it. Yeah,
What the fuck?
that is.
I thought you
insane
said
behavior.
playing in it at first. He was just playing his
He was
shit.
playing in his poop
I
and
hope
got
this
on the ball on
woman
accident.
moves to a different state because
He will
that
find-
boy's not gonna. He's not gonna.
Yeah,
take
no,
care
I
of
would be concerned that he might come back and try to get hurt in a similar fashion. So
Yeah,
I would definitely do my best
She just
to
keeps coming
change
home and
address
there's just
and
shit wiped all over her door frame.
different balls of different sports just covered in shit.
like that's insane.
Just
Also, Chance,
leaves.
you're really quiet all of a sudden on my end. So
That's because I was trying to make it so that Alex could hear, so I turned up my volume on my headset and turned it out. But then it was like kind of coming through my mic, I think. So I was trying to. Does that sound better?
a little bit, yeah.
Can you hear
Just
yourselves
compared to
coming through
Nick,
when you
you're
talk?
you're real quiet.
I can make myself quiet.
No, I could just turn Chance up in Discord.
That should
Okay.
work.
See if that works.
Boom. Fuck yeah.
Like I would turn you guys up on Streamlabs, but that would make Nick's volume go into the red. So
Yeah. Same.
You know,
Goodness, a lot of G's in this one. And G317.
Okay, so now we have Am I the Devil, which is where people put other posts from other subreddits when they're just the worst people on the planet. So be prepared for some fuck shit.
I mean, it's Reddit, so when in doubt, yes, you are the devil. That's just how Redditors be.
So just a little bit of just a precursor. This person has been labeled already asshole from another realm.
Okay.
Is it the
My-
boyfriend from the last post?
My wife won't talk to me anymore.
Good.
That's the title. My wife, 31 female, and I, 46 male, have been together for 6 years, married for 2. She used to talk to me all the time. She used to share a day with me, just randomly telling me her thoughts. Stuff like that. However, she also used to want to talk about problems we were having. A lot. I felt like we were always talking about what I did wrong. She thought I spent too much time talking to exes. We were friends. I don't prioritize her over work. It's my career. Am I supposed to quit? And mostly that I didn't care enough about her. It was so many different ways that she came to that conclusion. But it was like we were just always sitting down for a serious talk. So I told her about a year ago that I didn't want to talk anymore. I was just tired of hearing everything I was doing wrong. I provide everything we need. Can I just have a break? I told her that if she had a problem with the way I did things, then she could get out of my house and we'd get a divorce. She told me that she was trying to communicate because she didn't feel appreciated, and that I had one foot out the door. But I think that's ridiculous. I know it's harsh, but I was at my wit's end. So now, a year later, she barely talks to me at all. When I ask her about her day, she says fine. When I ask her about work or politics or my day, she says, oh wow, cool. When I talk about that, sorry. And kind of walks away. Her attitude isn't bad. She's very sweet. But it's just like she doesn't care anymore. I didn't want to talk about our problems anymore, but I didn't mean stop talking, period. We really don't talk about anything that doesn't have to do with our life/household. In the evenings, she just turns on the TV and we watch something until bed. Now, I don't know what to do because I just found out today that she won a pretty big award at her job and she didn't tell me. Last Friday, she said she had to work late and it was cool. I didn't ask. Today, I found out that she was really at a dinner where she was celebrated for this award. She invited some of her friends and her mom and brothers. I ran into her brother at the store today and he mentioned the dinner and said that he was sorry I couldn't make it. I asked what he meant and he said the dinner, how I wasn't able to go because I was sick. I asked him to explain the whole thing to me, so now he knows too. What am I supposed to do? Is she punishing me or something? Do I tell her that I know? Why wouldn't she tell me? I didn't think she'd take it this far, and now I'm thinking she's being petty. Does anyone have experience here? I love my wife and I'd do anything for her, but I'm so confused.
I think you're a liar. You do not love her, and you would not do anything for her. Otherwise, you would have communicated in the first place. And not just been like, I don't want to talk about problems anymore. That makes me sad. I think he's
To a degree,
an immature man baby and needs to move along with his life.
I will agree to a point, but I will also say that I have been in a relationship where all I heard about were complaints, despite best efforts to satisfy complaints. There was just always more, and it was,
I mean, yeah, same, but
so to a point.
Like, I have also been in the same situation, and I feel like there's some fault on both sides.
Yeah,
But
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is, this guy does not sound like he was trying to satisfy any of those complaints. He literally said he didn't want to talk about it. He keeps hearing about what he does wrong, but he makes all the money for the house. He keeps the house running. So if she doesn't like the way he does things, she can get out. So he's not trying to solve any of the problems they're having. He just doesn't want to hear it.
Well, this is the point he's at now. He may not have portrayed the fact that in the beginning he did attempt, which if he's at a point of frustration, which it sounds like he is, otherwise he wouldn't be posting this shit on Reddit.
Well, and this
He's
is
at
my
a point
thing.
where he's so fucking tired from doing the work and doing the stuff and trying and still getting complaints at him that he doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Here's my thing. Most of the time on Reddit, when people do these "Am I the Asshole" things, they're posting, and when they post, they omit information
Yeah,
to make themselves look better.
yeah.
That is a
Not-
huge
yeah,
thing.
They
people
don't
do.
omit information that would help their case. So, if this guy had been trying genuinely to work on their problems at some point, he would have said that in the post, 100%. But he doesn't mention that at all.
He just mentions how he's tired of her.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a little bit tougher than I thought it would be, him being labeled an asshole from another realm, because I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's just that would be context that I would personally like to include if I was, you know, not a major dickbag.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but from the information
He's just
provided,
like, no, she's wrong, blah blah blah. So it's hard for me to see where he could be, you know, not the asshole.
I'm
So
sure
he
some of
did
my
say-
ex's friends would think that about me.
That one was a little tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, also keep in mind, this is someone who's going to Reddit, of all places, with this level of problem, instead of looking for like marriage counselors or anything like that. Like,
Well, to
How
be
old
fair,
are
that
they?
was
not
not.
a true real effort.
Was
This is
26 and 24?
internet. Give me pity points.
Let me go back.
Or at least
to
that's how it reads to me. Going to Reddit for something that severe, like
31 and 46. He's 46. She's 31.
Oh,
Oof.
that kind of
yeah,
changes.
46
hurts on
going to
him.
Reddit.
That, yeah, that kind of changes it.
Yeah, like that's
How
not
long
good.
have they been married?
2 years.
Been together for 6, married for 2. Yes.
Together for 6, married for 2.
Yeah.
Well, clearly he was working on it enough up to the 4
Or
year point.
It
enough
didn't
to
become
where-
problems until they got married.
Yeah.
It
and-
could be a situation where once they got married, he kind of fell off.
Yeah, and
That's true.
It's hard to tell
whether
because,
or
you
not
know,
they
that's
were
context
living
that's
together before they
not
were married,
included,
anything
but-
like that. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's just context that hasn't been included. So
Also,
maybe she just finally worked up the courage to be like, "Hey, by the way, noticed some things are not
Thing.
the best."
I noticed some things aren't thinking. Also, I don't know if this changes anything, but that was not posted in Am I the Asshole? That was posted in r/marriage,
Okay.
where people go for marriage advice. I do think that was less of an I need advice and more of a we need therapy.
It's a crime.
Exactly my point. He went to Reddit instead of like going to a marriage counselor or something. Which, if you really want things to work, I would think would be like, aside from talking to your spouse, would be the first step. Would be get professional help.
Oh Lord.
Personally, I mean that could be different for everyone, but personally, and I just think
Oh man.
I wouldn't go to Reddit.
Okay, this one. I think this one's gonna be pretty spicy.
Okay.
Have you noticed even chicks well into their late 30s and 40s think they can afford to be picky?
What?
Okay.
I don't get what the title
Is
means.
this the statement that he has said that is
Yes.
bringing about whether or not he's an asshole?
No, so this one was not posted in Am I the Asshole. This was posted in r/anti-feminists.
Oof.
Okay.
And
That's
the
already a big yikes
yeah.
for me.
The title was, have you noticed even chicks well into their late 30s and 40s think they can afford to be picky? I'm
That's
assuming
where
when
I-
it comes to dating.
That's where I got messed up. I heard even chicks, and I was like, you mean like on a scale of 1 to 10, they're an even number? Like, what are you talking about? I was so confused.
Let's get into this. I find this extremely irritating. I was
you probably should.
oh man.
Oh,
I
wait.
was
I thought you were talking about
no,
your
no, that was the beginning
IRL.
of the post.
Yikes.
I was talking to a pretty washed up looking 37-year-old woman. I was 26 at the time.
Why?
At a bar once, and could tell she was visibly attracted to me. I was a little hot on the trigger and tried to close after only talking to her for a few minutes, and she responded, "Well, you just go right in there, huh?" As if I had broken some sacred rule or violated some mandatory 30-minute screening period she was entitled to.
It's called respect.
Never
Yeah.
mind that she was a hard 6.5 to 7 with tons of makeup, a divorced single mother with baggage, and hanging out at a fucking bar we passed well past her prime. Another example was a girl I met online, again very unremarkable, but a bit younger, 27, and very plain looking. Cute enough to fuck, but not to work for. I again attempted to close without doing the whole song and dance I do for someone I'm genuinely attracted to, and got a similar response.
Maybe it's
Wi-
because you're an incel.
I was
Women-
willing to have sex with her. She turned me down. She posted in the nice guys.
Women respond to this with, "That's because they know guys are just trying to use them for sex, so they're weeding those types out. What happened to the hookup culture and girls dick hopping? I'm not a Chad, but I'm well above average looking. Which is it? They want casual sex or don't they? I think this is just another example of supply and demand. Men want and need women way more than the reserve because they are hornier. And this allows even the most average women to think they can afford to be this selective, even though these guys just want to fuck them." Too long didn't read. The highly selective nature and entitlement of women of all levels of attractiveness is proof that men have it significantly worse in dating, and that women hold most, if not all, of the power.
So you're an incel, and you don't deserve anyone to be attracted to you.
So this guy's a hard
ever.
6.75 max, who's just real irritated.
That's
and
generous.
thinks he's hot shit.
My thing, it really just sounds like that. Even though she's not cute or well past her prime, I was willing to just go ahead and fuck her, and then she turned me down. Like, how rude of her. Like, it's the same thing as all of those nice guys that'll hit on a girl, and then when they get rejected, they call her a fucking bitch and tell her she's
Chance,
ugly.
I think you're being hella generous, giving him all the way up to a 6?
I mean, he has confidence, so you have to assume he's at the very least like a 5.
A 2.
Or maybe
The
maybe it's
amount that he has to shoot his shot that fast, that hard, he's got to be at least a little higher than that. So probably like a 6.5, 6.75
Or-
max.
The other thing,
Or
as
realize
someone-
he's delusional and be like, oh, he thinks he's that high, so he has confidence, but in
He's really a
reality,
4.
So my thing is that I feel like this guy definitely doesn't understand, as someone on the other side that has been on the other side of that. A lot of the time, that quote unquote 30-minute screening time is also assessing levels of, is this man going to murder me or not?
Yeah.
Is this
Oh,
man going to do
100%.
something illegal to me? So like, when you're moving in that fast, it kind of freaks us out, and we're like, maybe not.
Like, at least
My-
have a
my-
little chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has thoughts.
Thoughts?
Yes.
Number one, he's at the fucking bar too.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Number two, he's looking for women older than him, right?
Yeah, I mean,
He
he
clearly
that-
can't get women your age.
he has
so-
approached a woman
Right.
who's
Fuck.
significantly older and a woman he deems
Plain.
plain.
Your game is not that strong. Just saying.
Clearly
Yeah.
not.
If you're aiming
I-
for what you consider the low-hanging fruit and still missing, the problem probably isn't the women.
Well,
Like-
and I just noticing his age, he's mid-20s, going after women in their 30s and 40s. Sounds to me like this quote-unquote hookup culture and desperate MILFs, or whatever the fuck he's talking about, comes from porn ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's watched too much porn.
This guy definitely has 10 terabytes of pornography on his computer right now.
Yeah, he doesn't just visit the sites, he downloads that shit.
He's got the premium
Huh?
subscription.
10 terabytes of which are children.
Probably. Full offense to this guy, whoever you are.
Fuck you, whoever you
Full offense to you. You're a terrible
Well,
person.
And he's talking about how they feel entitled to be picky.
But
Motherfucker, you feel entitled to pussy.
you feel
Yeah,
entitled to them
literally,
fucking you just 'cause
he's
they're
an
not up to
incel.
your standards.
Yeah, he
Like,
feels
you're
Like-
doing them a
entitled to
favor,
their
which is
body.
So stupid.
Yeah. That's
God,
what I
I
mean
wanna
by
fight.
that's what I mean by he's an incel, because he feels entitled to them and thinks they're the problem when he makes quick advances.
This guy's a stinky little bitch.
You should take my route. Just assume no one is physically attracted to you. It works out much better.
That's what I've done, and my girlfriend would disagree, but I don't believe her sometimes, so I don't believe her that I am remotely attractive.
Man, I have less.
That's also-
confidence than this
that's
guy,
also
and I
for
know I'm
humor.
attractive. It's insane.
Oh no. Okay.
Just to be clear.
This one was posted to r/relationship advice.
Okay.
Stop
I'm great at
asking for
relationships,
relationship
let's
advice
go.
on Reddit.
What chance?
I said I'm great at relationships. Let's go.
The title is I pretended to have a vasectomy.
That's
2
why-
years later and my wife is pregnant.
Pretended to have a vasectomy. 2 years later, wife was pregnant.
Hello,
That's not
Reddit.
good, bud.
I
No.
almost said something that I can't say on Twitch.
Hello, Reddit. I have been longtime lurker,
Said it in Snapchat.
but I haven't posted. I think he should probably stick to lurking if this is what he's going to be posting. I am a frequent user of this app. However, my wife doesn't really like it, but I still want to be precautious, as she knows my user. So this is my throwaway account. By the way, I put a TLDR at the bottom. I'm going through a horrible dilemma, and I'm so deep in, I have no idea what to do. My wife and I have been married for 9 years, and we have 2 kids together, and we aren't planning on having any more. Well, my wife is set on that idea, but I wanted to have at least 5 kids, and she only wanted to have 1 or none. This doesn't take away from the fact that she is a great mother. It's just her preference. Going into the marriage, we sort of compromised to have maybe 2 or 3 kids. I am set on having 3, but she didn't want any more. It's been 5 years since having the first 2, and around 2 years ago, she was hell-bent on me getting a vasectomy. I wasn't comfortable with it and refused, but it became the center of our arguments. We dated for 5 years before getting married, so we have been together for a total of 12 years when this occurred. Now we have been together for 14 years. These were such lovely times, and I didn't want to end our relationship on this, especially since we have kids together, so I agreed to get the vasectomy after 2 months of arguing. Fast forward to now, my wife is pregnant. She doesn't know how this could have happened, but I do. I never got the vasectomy. 2 years ago, I pretended that I got it, and I told her someone else took me to the appointment, and I took off a week of work so I can recover from it. I tried to be precautious during sex by pulling out, but it clearly didn't work. Now my wife is furious as I told her that the vasectomy could have failed rather than telling her the truth. She's also scheduling appointments with lawyers so she can sue the practice in which I received the surgery. Now if they have the records, it will prove that I never got it. Now my wife is also thinking about having an abortion, but I'm trying to convince her to drop this whole thing, and if anything, this child is a miracle. What should I do now? I'm worried if I tell her the truth and she will leave me. I don't want to lose her. She's the love of my life. I don't know what I can do without her. I know this is my fault, but please help me on how I should go about this. Oh, this one hurts.
What was the last bit?
Sounds to me like you think your wife is nothing more than a baby factory, and you
Listen.
should leave
That's
and
literally illegal.
crawl into a hole.
Yeah, I think, because at first I thought it was going to be he, tried to have a vasectomy. He pretended to have a vasectomy, and then just like accidentally got her pregnant, which is really bad still.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was kind of
And now he's like
the whole
gaslighting
thing
her.
around the kids.
Yeah.
He wanted more kids and she didn't, and he was like, "Well, we're gonna have more kids anyways."
Yeah, that's criminal activity
It
right
is.
there. He admitted to
And then
crimes.
he's like, it's a miracle. That's he's gaslighting her. Let's add that to the list. It's pretty low on the criminal offenses, but like compared to the criminal offenses, but he is in fact. That's manipulative as shit.
Yeah, this baby is not the second coming of Christ. Like, come on.
Now,
The forced impregnation is a crime.
there's
I would like for this man to crawl into a hole. Your kids can find a different dad.
there's a dude in the comments of this post who thinks vasectomies is getting your balls cut off.
I mean,
What?
this guy in the comments thinks vasectomy is getting your balls cut off.
It's just snipping at some tubes, snipping and burning some tubes,
Yeah.
and it's reversible. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If
it
she
is
did end up
reversible.
wanting another kid, he could get it reversed.
Yeah.
Oh, he hurts me. Oh, this guy's disgusting. He deserves prison.
I hope she tries to sue the company and gets the record that he was never there, and then sues him.
I hope she
That
fucking
was-
leaves him and presses charges.
Yeah, me too.
My question also is, how did she not notice that there was like no scar?
I assume she doesn't want to go
Not a
anywhere
lot of
near his-
face-to-face time, I think.
Yeah.
Not with that
Well,
particular part of him.
Probably more face-to-face time than...
Face-to-head time.
Oh boy, that's...
Ah.
You're a monster, and you don't deserve your children or your wife at all.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was a rough one for sure.
That was
Um,
incredibly painful to listen to.
I almost was like,
You guys should check Snapchat and see what I sent.
Is it a picture of your dick?
I hope so.
You wish. No, when you first
Oh
read
my
the
God.
title and you were like, "Oh, I pretended to have a vasectomy and then
Oof.
got my wife pregnant."
Oof.
That's what I almost said.
In game.
I-
In game.
Right.
Yeah, in game.
In the game of life.
Okay.
I almost said that, and then I was like, "Wait, no, I can't say that on stream." Hold on.
hold on, I gotta
This one was posted in r/off my chest, which usually a lot of the worst Am I the Devil stories come from Off My Chest, because these people have Off My Chest is basically like you've been keeping a secret and you need to talk about it somewhere. This one, I think I've heard this one before, and it always makes me cringe a little bit. I made my girlfriend cry for admitting that my best friend is more attractive than her.
Oofin. Okay.
I, 25 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 24 female, for almost a year now. Before we became official, we were friends for at least 4 years. Other than my girlfriend, the second most important important person in my life is my best friend, 24 female. We've been best friends for more than a decade, and she's been there for me for all of my lowest points. I literally would not have survived this long without her. Our relationship is purely platonic. Purely platonic. I think I said platonic.
Yeah.
You did.
I
It's all
admit that I've had a crush on her before, but we both admitted that it would be better for us to stay friends, and that was.
Interesting phrasing.
She isn't the stereotype girl best friend either. She's just my best friend who just so happens to be female. She respects boundaries, and I'd like to believe that she genuinely just sees me as a friend and vice versa. We've been each other's support systems for a long time and even trust each other more than our own parents. Recently, my girlfriend asked me if I think she's prettier / more attractive than my best friend. For context, my best friend is a successful fashion model / influencer. She looks like your typical model / influencer, tall, slender, clear skin. While my girlfriend is honestly short, quite chubby, and has a lot of acne. I love my girlfriend, I really do. She has social anxiety and thus sometimes goes for long periods of time without contacting me. But I've never once felt like any doubt or temptation to cheat or find someone else. I accept and love her as she is. When she asked that question, I answered that yes, I believe my best friend is prettier, more attractive than her. I mean, come on. My girlfriend is a normal girl, and my best friend literally gets paid and receives lots of free stuff solely for her looks. She got offended and started crying. She hasn't talked to me in a while either. I don't understand why she's acting that way. I mean, the answer was obvious, but it doesn't make me love her any less. I clearly chose to date her because instead of other women, I accept her as a whole package. I told my best friend about my answer and she slapped me. Now she's been on my ass to make it right. Was I expected to very blatantly lie to my girlfriend? Would have been worse if I wasn't honest. Anyone with eyes can clearly see who's the more attractive one. Wouldn't it be a slap to her just to lie to her face that way? I don't get why I have to be the bad guy in this situation.
I would say you definitely could have worded it better, maybe. Be like, in my eyes. Oh, shit. How do you say this?
You don't. That's the thing.
It's a tricky one.
It's rough, right? Be like, you as a whole, to me, are much more attractive
Yeah.
than she is. You as a whole are more attractive to me than she is physically.
Subjectively speaking.
Yeah. That's a rough one.
It is a rough one.
I also don't believe that he doesn't have feelings for his best friend.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure.
And she just doesn't want to date him.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's definitely the case. She's like, I'm a literal model.
And you're a dude. You're just some dude.
And also, I think the best friend in this situation had the correct response.
Oh, for sure.
By slapping him.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
like, you don't fucking say that shit, dumbass. Okay, there's an update. I was able to talk to her. She apparently told other people about the situation, and everyone, including her own mother, sides with me. What?
How?
She shouldn't have been asking me questions like that when the answer was obvious. She
No.
apologized for even asking that question in the first place. To everyone saying I should have broken up with her, we're good. I'm feeling very betrayed by my best friend instead of being it's clear whose side she took. She's the only one who took my girlfriend's side. Most of the people we know are also upset at her. These are people who actually know us and the relationship. What the fuck?
That is so wrong.
This,
That is
this,
so
okay,
wrong.
the best friend needs to go slap everybody.
What the fuck is
I agree.
happening?
Wait, what? That's so. They're
I'm gonna
basically
say that
just
he's not
to
going
his
on Reddit
girlfriend.
lying because everybody was coming after him, so he's like, I'm gonna make it sound like I ended up being in the right.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like the case, Alex.
Because
Actually,
I
now
just
that you
can't
mention that.
I can't see literally everybody else siding with him in this situation. Obviously, she wouldn't have asked if she wasn't feeling some type of insecure way about it. And like in a partnership, you're supposed to help with that.
Yeah.
Not make it
Well,
worse.
And then imagine if that is true, being this girl and your entire family and
Ugh.
support system saying, yeah, obviously you're uglier than this other girl.
No, absolutely not. No. If I was the
Fucking-
best friend, I'd go. I'd go and slap every one of them.
There's another post here on the site. I believe that women are given more of a pass to bash men. And the title given by Am I the Devil is I hate women, but me no incel.
So essentially, me am incel, but me no incel.
No, you're not an incel. You're a nice guy.
It's lame that women are more entitled to criticize men. Have you ever heard a guy complaining about his love life and relationship? No one wants to hear it because you need to find better women. Or any variation of that mixed in with have you looked at yourself? Why do women get more of a pass? A woman mistreated by the men in her lives becomes more of a talking point on how men are the ones that need to do better. Their narrative is about how men as a whole need to do better. She can be a helpless victim way before people are quick to point fingers at her. That's all constructive criticism from the voices of women. What would it be switched around? You must be an incel, or that attitude is specifically why women find you off-putting. Funny how it's men doing their part for calling out other men versus don't fall down that incel pipeline if men want their voices to be heard. A lot of people say they want men to open up because it only sounds good for their virtue signaling activism. There's hardly any of that actually being put into practice, with all of the dismissing and shaming that goes around from men actually doing so. What's sad is that people always want to talk about the healthier ways for men to deal with their issues. Who actually wants to deal with their issues? The incels you don't want these men to become. This is really bad.
Yeah, what the fuck am I listening
poorly
to? I'm
written.
losing,
It doesn't even
I'm
make
losing
sense.
brain cells.
Yeah,
It
it's
does not
poorly
even make
written.
Also sounds like he's an incel, and he's very insecure about being an incel. So he's like, "Oh, I promise I'm not."
Well, I get some of what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, for sure there is a double standard there, but also I don't feel like women get more of a pass at it when it's, I don't know, it's so normalized from both sides anymore. I don't know. I couldn't even follow that fully. Like, he was all over the place with that one.
I feel like this guy is chronically online because the only place that, you know, you could see women getting more of a pass is like when they make videos bashing men on their own TikTok pages.
Right.
Where their audience is obviously going to be those kinds of people. Now, legally, I do think that the law gives women a little bit easier of a time, just because domestic abuse towards men is not seen as serious.
Which is
this is the thing, understandably,
Yeah.
because when a man beats on a woman, he could kill her pretty easily.
Domestic abuse
And when-
is domestic abuse.
Yeah, when a woman beats on a man, even though it is abuse, it's not.
Yeah, that's
you know.
that's more the double standard I was kind of like. For sure, I feel like maybe society is easier on women when they speak out about it, but it's definitely more normalized for men to bash women. Not only that they're in relationships with it, that they don't even know.
I also think the people that tend to be the worst to women and men respectively are women and men. Like, women are worse to women in certain spaces than men are. They're more judgmental of certain things, and then men are, you know, when they try to speak about their feelings, they're like, "Oh, you're a fucking pussy, dude. You're a fucking bitch,
Cry,
dude."
bruh. I haven't
Never
cried
cry,
since
dude.
fucking
Never show your
Nom,
emotions,
bruv.
bro.
That's the other double standard for sure. But what was he going on about? Like, oh, it's really sad that they only want to offer healthy ways to work out our issues. What else do you want people to do?
Right?
Hold your hand and say, "Oh,
He's
poor
like,
baby,
"I
you're
wanna
toxic to
murder."
women in your life."
I'm sad. I want to murder.
Just
That's
get
the
a
thing,
fucking
though, is-
mail order bride. Hopefully she'll be a fucking spy and kill you. In
He
game.
says
In game.
So this is what he said was. What's sad is that people always want to talk about the healthier ways for men to deal with their issues, and then this is where it's poorly written. But who actually wants to deal with their issues? The incels you guys don't want these men to become. So he's saying the incels are the people that want to deal with the men's issues. But the only issues incels want to deal with is how little pussy they're getting. That's the only thing they care about.
I can't deal with that. That one's no.
And they don't even want to deal with it. They want women to deal with it for them.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the
God.
thing,
God.
like-
Government issued pussy for all.
Shoot,
Dude, if you're that down bad,
lag all
buy
over.
a fucking fleshlight.
Yeah, no shit. They sell like sex torsos and shit on Amazon.
This is
Like-
I've also found this out recently by watching some
Bruh.
this Japanese interviewer interviewing Japanese people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in Japan don't consider
Prostitution.
like a
cheating.
husband hiring a prostitute cheating.
That's the move.
Yeah, they're just like, because it's normal. He's paying her for sex. It's not
He's
like,
like,
he
if
has
he's-
any feelings for her.
Yeah. He's just paying to get a nut out.
I still
don't
find
have to
that
deal
weird.
with it, and he's not getting.
I mean,
any
it's
feelings.
definitely like a social taboo. That's, you know, it's a cultural thing, but like, yeah, to them, it's just, it's basically buying a pocket pussy at that point.
But do you know how many less
Just
angry
for
people there
them
would
in
be if
their
you could just
society, that's
go
what that
to a
is.
place, you know, and do that? There'd be way less angry people.
Well, they're I think in LA it's legal.
Is it?
Yeah, because Chapin was talking about getting a prostitute magazine. Our economics teacher was talking about seeing a magazine just full of prostitutes you could hire,
That's fun.
and it's just
Man,
it's,
man was unpleasantly based. Like, he was
He
so
was.
based, it made me a little uncomfortable to be around him. I was like, how do you get so based?
I live on the first floor. I don't have a basement.
It's not like Forrest Gump.
I'm
I don't
not
have a
very
basement.
smart, but I love you, Jenny.
God, Jenny was such a bitch.
Jenny.
Jenny.
whoa!
Forever
One
be
day,
so
I
angry.
just started running.
Oh my god!
I will forever be so angry.
I gotta read this one.
Oh, she sucks.
What do we got?
Am I the asshole for euthanizing my daughter's emotional support animal for her own sake?
Yes.
What?
I couldn't.
Okay, what's this? What's for her sake? Is this like a really awful emotional support animal that's like biting and hurting her?
I need to hear the first part of this.
Alright, so just for more context, the Am I the Devil title, so what the person who reposted it to Am I the Devil is, am I the asshole for killing my daughter's support dog and saying it was old even though it was only halfway through its life, then blaming her for being upset? Alright. Okay, let's get into this.
There's a lot of oof going on here, bro.
Okay. My daughter recently turned 20. She's been dealing with major depressive disorder, social anxiety, anorexia, body dysmorphic disorder, and 2 autoimmune diseases since she was around 12. I'm very involved in her treatment and obviously want her to get better. So when her therapist recommended getting her a dog to register as an emotional support animal, we got her one for her 16th birthday, named Juniper. I generally dislike animals, but it was for my daughter's sake, so I caved. Junie and my daughter grew close, and I haven't seen a noticeable difference in her since we got the dog. I haven't seen a notable difference in her since we got the dog. Especially in her sense of independence and self-esteem. 4 years later, my daughter is now a part-time tutor, volunteers. Oh no, he has seen. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
My
That
daughter
makes
is
a
now
lot more sense.
my daughter is now a part-time tutor, volunteers with the elderly, and attends school full-time with excellent grades. I'm so proud of how far she's come, and though I realize she has a ways to go, Junie has helped her, and I credit this dog for that immensely. Here's the
I don't
problem.
like where this is
I
going.
don't either.
No,
Yeah.
this is not going in your favor,
Here's-
sir.
Here's the problem. While my daughter was at school, Junie got out of the house and got hit by a car since we live right in front of a busy street. My wife and I rushed her to the vet and were told that Junie would need surgery, which would cost somewhere in the ballpark of $2,000. I make a good salary, but I just cannot justify spending that much on a dog, especially when it may not even work and Junie would probably be crippled. Plus, she was pushing 5 years old, and her breed usually only lives for 9 to 10 years. Due to all these reasons, I decided the humane and logical decision would be to euthanize Junie. Oh.
Yeah, that's some context for sure. That's spicy context. Okay.
Okay, so
at this-
like when it got hit by a car, he had me more on his side, like, oh well, then he put the dog out of her misery, and then it was like, I could afford it, but I just didn't really want to, and I was like, hold on, and then it was, but it might not even work, and now I just don't even know how to feel.
At this point,
and also the point is not, for the dog to go back to regular dog activities. It's a support animal.
Right.
Like, it's an emotional support animal, not a, hey, let's go play fetch at the local dog park for 6
definitely
hours.
consult your daughter before you make a decision.
Yeah, especially a dude, like, I had an ESA. No, I don't know.
That sucks.
It's a rough situation for sure, but I feel like he could have done more to not unalive the dog. For the dog,
Yeah, like
he could have done
paying
more for that
for the
dog to
surgery.
live. If he makes a decent salary and could have done it, he should have done it.
Yeah.
Also, if it's an emotional support animal, you're not paying for surgery for a dog. You're paying for repairs on medical equipment.
Pretty much.
It's
like,
very much an investment in your daughter's continuing growth. If you're so proud.
I heard an O. It continues. Okay,
this
what's what?
gets worse.
Oh, it gets worse. Cool. Can't wait.
At this point, I called my daughter to let her know the situation and the solution I'd chosen. So at this point, the dog has not put down yet. He does call his daughter.
Okay. Dog not down. Dad's made a decision. Called daughter.
And she freaked out on me. She tried telling me how she had $700 in savings and would quickly find a job to pay me back the rest. To which I declined because A, it's not about the money, and B, I don't want to risk ruining her mental health by her getting a job, especially since she'd likely have to quit one of her volunteer jobs, which have helped her so much.
So you're gonna ruin her mental health by getting rid of her medical equipment.
Support?
I explained this to her, but she wasn't hearing reason. So basically, she wasn't agreeing with me.
She was
That's
not
what he said.
emotionally supported at that moment.
Yeah, so I put my foot down and said my decision was final, because the dog was technically mine since I paid for it. Then I hung up. We put Junie down, surrounding her with love and gratitude.
Oh,
you didn't.
No! You put her down, surrounded with cheap skatery and fucking.
Oh my god.
Nepotism.
We got home.
We got home.
We got home.
Shouldn't have.
My daughter had just pulled in and was hysterical. I told her she was too old to be acting like this, and one part of becoming a competent, independent adult was accepting what life throws at you.
So he
Now
doesn't
she isn't
understand
speaking
mental
to
illness,
me.
got it.
Good.
I'm beginning to think I should have at least told her where we were so she could say goodbye.
He didn't
On
even...
the other hand, Junie already...
Oh, you didn't even...
Hold up.
Oh!
On the other hand, Junie already served her purpose in helping my daughter.
No.
And she only had the dog for 4 years.
No.
So I don't understand the huge overreaction. Am I the asshole?
Yes, 100,000% yes.
Oh. I'm going back to that other guy
It was a roller
with the
coaster
fake
of-
vasectomy. I'm going back to fake vasectomy guy, telling this guy the same thing. You should crawl in a hole.
Like, you gotta be able to tell a story better than that. You were fucking roller coastering the shit out of us. We almost had your support when the dog got hit, but then you were like, eh.
I didn't.
Fuck the dog.
Nah.
Like
Even
that-
when the dog got hit, I was like, nah. This has got to be
Well, if
lining
there
up
was,
for
like, no
something.
Other option,
Yeah, if there was like no option,
like
and he was
surgery
like,
won't save the dog, nothing, I would have been more on his side. Like I mean, there wouldn't have been anything. He
like
could have
that
done.
car was his
I
saving
mean,
grace, and
I
he fucking
guess
missed it.
maybe, but
Well, she also
just
offered
how
to
it was
pay-
phrased from the very beginning, I was like, you're not.
She also offered her entire savings
Yeah.
towards
And
pay-
to get
towards-
another
And to
job.
get a job, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it would not have even inconvenienced him financially.
But it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that he never wanted an animal, and he was given his wish. And I mean, quite frankly, it's about how he doesn't understand mental illness and how it can tank right back down when you take away emotional support.
Yeah, he completely fucked his daughter.
There is an
Non-
update.
sexual sense.
Phrasing chance?
In a non-sexual sense.
I was gonna say phrasing.
There is an update to this one.
Oh god, okay.
Jesus Christ! Message received. I guess I'm the asshole.
Yes.
I still believe I made the best choice, so he
No.
doesn't actually think he's the asshole. But I suppose I could have let her be more involved. Some people are asking the same questions, so I'll answer them here. I am not a sociopath.
Yes.
I am just excellent at separating emotion and preference of logic, especially in times of crisis. This does not mean I don't feel anything. I love my daughter more than anything in the world. Okay, here's the thing.
You couldn't have killed the dog.
No. Here's the thing people need to understand about sociopathy. You don't not feel emotions at all.
Yeah.
That's not how sociopathy works.
Yeah.
You can still feel emotions towards people you're very close to in your life. Sociopathy is not the absence of emotion completely. So, he could still be a sociopath.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Could be.
sociopath
I think
to
he
me.
is. Like.
What?
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's definitely not an empath.
No. My wife was 100% on my side for the actual decision of putting Junie down, and agreed our daughter should not witness it. She did, however, disagree with the words and tone I used towards my daughter when we got home, which is where I began wondering if I was the asshole.
The whole situation, bud.
I
The
am
whole
not
thing.
and never have been jealous of Junie. That's ridiculous. She was an emotional crutch for my daughter and will always be special to me in that way. My daughter did not love me any less after getting the dog. If anything, she loved me more. Lastly, thought I would update you all that I did, in fact, talk to my daughter today. It took her some time to let me in, but once she did, I was able to explain my side, give her my reasonings for what I did, and convince her to forgive me. She agreed, and we are all moving past this ASAP.
No.
No.
I'm actually...
No, she just wanted to shut you up because
Yeah.
you fucking
Yeah.
betrayed her.
You can't convince someone to forgive you for something.
You betrayed her.
I'm actually about to run out and get her favorite fast food for dinner, and we're having a family movie night.
Ooh.
She's still acting distant and mopey,
Of course.
but she has her regular therapist appointment tomorrow, so I'm confident she can vent there and her therapist can help her get through this without any permanent damage. By the way,
God.
I also offered to get her another dog, which wasn't easy for me, and she declined, so I don't think her bond with the dog and like for animals in general was as unbreakable and solid as you all are. commenting
No,
with
she
me.
can't trust that you're not gonna fucking offer dog in 4
Also,
years.
do you know how hard it is to
You can't just
attach
replace
to
that
another animal when you've just lost one?
Yeah. He's like, oh, I
He's
don't
just
think
He's
her
a fucking
attachment...
sociopath.
He's digging a
Yeah.
deeper hole.
I mean, and to me, she has therapy tomorrow, and she can vent about it there. That means I want to get past this and not want to hear her fucking cry about it
Yeah.
anymore.
Right, like that specific phrasing is like, so you don't care about your daughter and her well-being.
You don't
Got
care how
it.
she actually feels about it. You just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Oh, edit 2.
Oh
To
no!
To everyone, this is short. To everyone leaving horrendous messages in my DMs, take a look at yourself and the words you're using against me, and consider how hypocritical it is that you're calling me the asshole when you're telling me you hope my daughter murders me.
I I hope you get hit by a car,
Yeah,
and
then
then
your
there's a
daughter's
fucking
like-
$2,000 surgery that'll save your life, and your daughter's like, well,
I can't really
you know, it's
justify
not about the
getting
money,
that.
really. It's not about the money,
principle.
okay?
What a monster, dude.
That is why he's an Am I the Devil?
Oh my god.
I also like how the one about the dog hit us all so
God.
much.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
That
to
was
be fair, there was a lot more depth to that one than some of the others, so it was a lot easier to. But also, it's a dog,
It just kept getting
and
worse
also
for him.
it's medical
Listen.
equipment.
If I listen, like I said, I've had an ESA.
Whoa.
I can't. You don't. I don't want to say it's a deeper bond than with like a normal family pet, but it's definitely different.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he didn't want to ruin her mental health by her getting a job to pay for this surgery. Well, buddy, you just. All of her progress is going to be gone. Whether it happens instantaneously or not, you ruined it. Because not only did
Yeah.
she lose her emotional support, but her father betrayed her.
Yeah.
It's that one's it's just really bad.
Yeah, she's for sure gonna disappear in 3 to 5 years.
I thought you were going to say 3 to 5.
How old was she again?
She's 20. She's 20 now.
So yeah, 3 to 5 years I think is probably good, especially 7,000 in savings, got volunteer jobs and stuff.
700 in savings.
You're right, because it was
You're
only a
right.
$2,000 surgery.
He said you're right.
So yeah, 3 to 5 years, she'll be moved out and be no contact,
Yup.
which I think is fully understandable
Yup.
and justified.
I think he sucks. I hope that. No, I don't want. No.
Oh. So this is rare.
He gets ran over by a dog.
Driving a car.
Okay, this is rare for Reddit. I found this one just on r/divorce, and it's a. Oh man, it's a woman in a relationship where it's a relationship where the man isn't the asshole, which is rare because men are usually the asshole on Reddit. Because men don't recognize when they're wrong, and so they're like, "I'm not the asshole for stabbing my wife."
She was sleeping, but she was on my side of the bed. It was totally justified.
Okay. 6 months later, divorcing my husband was a huge mistake. This one is a little bit longer. Actually, the first part of this one is long, but it's worth for everyone to read.
Okay, this will probably.
If I
have
could
to be
give
my
anyone-
last one.
Huh?
This will probably have to be my last one. I do gotta start getting ready and
That's fine.
heading towards
Mhm.
that bed.
If I could give anyone a piece of advice for divorce, it would be not to do it under normal circumstances. If your spouse is beating you or threatening you or your children, then of course get out fast. In my case, there was no abuse. We were together for 8 years. That was mostly good, and we have 4 kids. Right around 5 years, I got a promotion at work, and I got it in my head that my ex-husband was dragging me down, or at least holding me back from more success and a better life. We never had a lot of money, but with my promotion, I was now making more than he was. I started working longer hours, and at the same time, his hours were cut, so he was at home more. I really began to resent him because he was home and because he got to spend time with our kids. Most nights when I got home, they were already getting ready for bed, and if not already sleeping. After a few months of my new job, it was clear to me that things were not going well at home without me there. Some nights the dishes weren't done when I got home, or the kids hadn't eaten it, or whatever else I could think of to be mad at him about. It really didn't matter. He kept saying that he would try harder, but that it was hard being home all the time. That always made me really mad. For the next couple of years, things kept getting worse. My hours weren't any shorter, and his were on and off full time. There was no convenient time for him to be working full time because of my hours, but we also needed the money. Whenever he would tell me that he could get extra hours, I would always complain, and the less hours he worked, the more I complained that he wasn't bringing in enough money. Whenever he brought up the contradiction, I would tell him that he needed to figure it out. I knew that it would bother him, so I started saying that a lot, and for everything that I could. I really started to resent him, and I pulled away from him. I knew that it was hurting him, but I didn't care. If he didn't want to be hurt, then he would at least try to make me happy. I used that same thing to justify when I started talking to another guy at work. I thought he was just a friend, but talking at work turned into texting at home, and then pictures and videos, and then trying to sneak some alone time with him. I knew that it was wrong, but it made me feel so alive, and my husband had not made me feel like that in years. I was tired of being unhappy, and I was doing this for me. The worst was that night I came home at a reasonable time and found that he had cleaned the whole house, cooked the whole family dinner, and picked out a movie for us all to watch together. This would have made me swoon a couple years earlier, but that night I couldn't even look at him, and I pretended to be sick. I spent the rest of the night in bed while he waited on me and checked on me and even made me different food and brought it to me in bed. It made me feel terrible. And then it made me angry that he made me feel that way. And by the end of the night, I was texting the other guy.
So,
For the next... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, there's more to this story. I want to hear it.
There's a bit more, yeah. Over the next month or two, from that night, it did not matter what he did. He was wrong for breathing most days. He would get so upset with how I was treating him, and I would just wait and egg him into losing it because I knew it would happen eventually. After most of the fights we had, he would apologize for whatever I told him he did wrong, if there was even was something, but I never did. But I never did, so she never apologized. I would usually find a way to make him feel even worse. I knew that I was right because he was wrong, and that was all that mattered to me. I even pretended that I didn't care when he found out about my relationship with the guy from work. It really destroyed me inside to see him holding back tears, but I wasn't going to let him see that. He was at his weakest, and that was when I chose to tell him that I wanted a divorce. I could almost hear his heart shattering inside his chest. He talked and fought and said that we could work it through it together. I really wasn't interested in fixing our marriage, but I mostly ended things with the other guy, but only because I knew I could get it back when I wanted it. I could see that he was trying, and occasionally I would let him know, but for the most part, I kept being a huge bitch to him for any and all reasons that I could think of. I'm not sure how much more the man could have done to make me happy besides finding a job that paid enough for me to not have to work at all. He said that he was looking, but looking and finding are two different things. It was around this time that I discovered this group and a few others. I started posting things about him. From my perspective only, and I got so much positive feedback for how I was feeling that I knew I was right. The more I posted, the more validation that I got. And it wasn't just me who knew that ex-husband wasn't worth keeping around. I had the whole internet telling me how terrible he is. I started saying awful things to him and even outright ignoring him. I was so confident with mine and everyone else's opinions that I contacted a lawyer and within a couple of weeks had filed for divorce. I continued to use the site and a couple others to validate my feelings and for encouragement to go through with it. And finally it was done. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Close. It went pretty smoothly. Ex-husband didn't ask for much besides to not get divorced and to try and work it all out. I didn't care about that though. He was broken, but I was free. I could do whatever I wanted without having to feel any guilt or answer to anybody. It was an amazing feeling of freedom. It didn't last long though. And the first month after he moved out, I missed garbage day 3 times. There was also rarely a single clean dish, and the laundry sat in piles so long that I had to start doing the sniff test to see if it could be worn again. I also never saw my kids, more miserable. My oldest had seen some of the messages from the other guy months earlier, and she knew that ex-husband still wanted to work it out. It didn't take her long to stop talking to me at all, except to say that she wanted to go to her ex-husband's house. Uh, the others all told me they wanted to live with ex-husband too. I did my best to try and make them happy, but I ended up just buying them toys all the time, and happiness only lasted minutes. I also was having a lot more trouble with work. Being alone, I couldn't work all those extra hours that I was expected to. I finally gave in and started calling ex-husband to watch the kids. He would always come over as soon as he could, and he always asked me if I needed anything. When I would get home, I would find the clean dishes and the laundry and even dinner sometimes. He would never say too much after I got home. He would just say to call him if I needed anything and leave. One night, he took out the garbage and brought it to the curb because it was garbage night, and I forgot again. He always looked so sad when it was time to go. Finally, after a couple of months, my friends convinced me to go out on a date. It was for dinner and a movie, and I was excited and hopeful, but at dinner I started getting a feeling of overwhelming guilt. It got so bad that I ended up not even going to see the movie. A week and about 1 million tears later, I was on a therapist's couch. I told her everything that had happened, starting with the promotion that I got at work. She did not agree with me or with any of the encouragement to get that divorce. I ended up in her office 2 and sometimes 3 times a week, and the more I talked to prove that I was right, the more I started to see how wrong I was. It was truly heartbreaking. I don't know if I cried as much in my whole life as I did in that first month in her office. After about $2,000 of therapy sessions, I learned that my ex-husband had his faults, but I figured out that mine were so much worse. I did so many awful things and said awful things that I wouldn't want to be with me, but he still did. I still remember him asking me in the meeting with the lawyer to please not go through with it. I did go through with it though, and then later I bragged about how on here how great it felt. I was so wrong, and now I could see it. A couple weeks ago, I went outside with him when he was leaving the house. I asked about getting back together. When he looked at me, his eyes were full of tears, and a couple went down his cheeks. He told me that he didn't know if he could. He said that the pain had been too much for too long, and that if we got back together, I might just turn around and do it again to him. He said that he always thought I would realize how much he loved me and stop up until I signed the divorce papers and let out a big over-exaggerated sigh of relief. He said that hurt him more than anything else, and that he doesn't know if he can ever trust me again. I don't blame him. I destroyed a man who was looking back a great husband. I deprived my kids of having a great father in the house with them, and I took the kids away from him. And me, the one who pushed for the divorce, expecting happiness and a life of freedom, spend all my free time sitting at home or sitting on the therapist's couch. Please don't just take the advice of anyone on this site or any other about getting a divorce. If your marriage is bad, look at yourself first and see if you can make changes. This is advice for men and women. Getting divorced is not fun. Being divorced is not fun. And seeing your husband broken and your children never happy because of your actions is the most painful experience that I can imagine. I wish all of you well and hope that you will give your marriages a second chance.
Damn.
Man.
Yeah. So
She a bitch for sure.
Yeah, so dude with the dog and dude with the vasectomy, they get to share advice with this one from me.
Like, damn.
Like, you are an absolute monster who has ruined the lives of at least 3 people.
It's just sad.
You do not get sympathy from me.
And I would say
For all of that
like
torture
you learned
you
a
put them
lesson, except for the fact that you're posting on here for sympathy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the only reason that post was made was to try to get pity points at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's more self-justification. It's more of her being like, I know I was wrong, but please forgive me. No. You do not get sympathy from me for doing that. You've
Especially-
ruined their lives.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like
especially
the-
because like
Sorry, continue.
it was a good marriage.
Yeah, from
Right?
what it sounds like, yeah.
They were happy. Well, he was happy, and she probably was happy
kids
before
were
she
happy.
got this. Yeah, and she probably was happy before she got this promotion.
Problem was, she
I don't
was
know.
probably not particularly happy with whatever she was doing job-wise because people are too career-oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a fucking Scooby-Doo villain, being like, "Oh shucks, guys, you know,
I done
I did
fucked
some
up.
stuff, you know, and like, I know it was bad.
I did a
so
oopsie.
Forgive me, right? Because I know
Literally,
it was bad.
I did a oopsie right there. Like,
Yeah, you can't just say oopsie poopsie and make it all go away.
Yeah, I hope he does not get back with her.
Yeah.
same.
Part of me.
Hope he finds
But
a hot new wife that's a better mom to their children.
Yeah.
All of me hopes he does not get back with her.
The only part of me that does that there's a small part that's like, but the kids. But then again,
Yeah.
the kids don't like her.
It's a very
Right, the
small
kids don't
part
like her
because
either,
of that,
so-
yeah.
There's
So-
no hope for this one. And I personally think that's fantastic.
Man,
Big
that would,
oofing on that one.
yeah, that one actually made me sad a little bit.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's like I feel bad for that guy. He got
I feel bad for
royally-
that guy and his kids.
Yeah.
Worse for the kids, honestly. Like he felt the direct impact of what she was saying and doing. Those kids may not have necessarily understood what was going on and just slowly lost their mother over the course of how many years. Like,
Dude, but also continuing to take care of her. What fucking beta behavior did? What a
Y'all
fucking
did.
simp, bro.
Y'all did. Fucking
that's
Sin City.
that's the kind of situation where I personally would just say he's too kind-hearted for his own good.
Yeah, well, and also it sounded like her kids were living there too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
So
well, that's not what I mean. That's another portion of it, rather.
Yeah, part of him was probably like, I don't want my kids to live in a dirty ass house.
Yeah.
And I want my kids to have clean clothes, so I have to go do it because she doesn't.
Won't. Yeah. It's not even doesn't at that point. It's won't. Like,
That's a good one to end it on.
Yeah.
a good one
Yeah,
or
That was a bad one to end it on. But
Definitely
Or like-
discussed some assholes tonight.
yeah, we had a lot of assholes.
Lots of assholes.
you're
Uh,
darn
Assholes.
right we did.
I think in order of craziest, it goes the guy who killed his daughter's dog, and then Poop Ball.
I have
Yeah.
to agree, yeah. Dog killer, poop dog, or poop ball for sure.
Poop dog.
Poop dog!
The neighbor's kid, the neighbor's dog kept coming to my yard, so I took him in the bathroom and shit on him.
Are you guys aware of the high school phenomenon that is poop dollar?
What?
No, what the fuck?
Okay,
Glad
this
I'm
was
not
a
in high
thing
school
that
anymore,
some
man.
kids at Union were doing when I went to Union in high school. Ask Nick, I bet he can attest to it. Or sorry, not Nick, Chris. Ask Chris, I bet he can attest to it. These kids were literally going to the bathroom on this field trip that we were on to like I don't know what the fuck we were at. We were at some big thing. And they were going to the bathroom and they were wiping their ass with dollar bills and then folding them up so you couldn't see the shit and throwing them on the ground and waiting for people to pick them up, open it up and find shit. And then they would jump out and just go, poop dollar!
Excuse me?
Okay, hold
I
on.
was like,
I'm gonna
what
go
are you-
ask-
I'm not surprised,
What are we
honestly.
doing?
Knowing
What is the
Union,
purpose of this?
that sounds like a very Union thing.
I'm gonna go ask Chris if he knows about Poop Dollar.
For sure, I'm willing to put money on the fact that he remembers.
I'm
poop
willing to
dollar.
put a poop dollar on the
I'll
fact.
put a poop dollar on the fact that he remembers the poop dollar.
This piece is hard to put together, by the way. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh?
Just the poop dollar, not like a poop
I got these two pieces that are supposed to go together, but don't snap together. They just kind of
You
sit
can tell by
together.
the type of game that they're playing that they could not afford to be shitting on fives.
Whoop, Donna.
It was fucking Sean Masters, Martinez something.
We heard.
What did we hear?
Oh, you didn't hear? I
No.
heard.
I asked Chris if he remembered Poop Dollar, and he
Uh-huh.
just cracked the biggest smile I ever saw in my entire life. He
I
said,
told
Yeah.
you.
I remember Poop Dollar.
Yeah, that was.
I'm
that
glad
was
I didn't go to
something for
Union.
sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Union also, for the longest time, did not have doors on their bathroom stalls.
Also true.
That was
I mean,
fucked.
to be fair, I didn't really use the stalls at Blue River either, just because I never pooped at school.
To be fair, the stalls, the doors on the stalls at Blue River didn't really help much when people would just peek through the fucking cracks in the door. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like that one
I
time.
mean, that's
caught,
every public bathroom, though.
I caught that one kid
Here.
masturbating at a urinal mid-period.
That's hot. I sat next to a kid at Union in computer class who was looking at morbidly obese women in bikinis and just rubbing on his dick through his pants.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was something. I requested a seat change.
No, Nick, Jesus wasn't there that day.
Jesus was not a part of this act, okay?
I sat next to a kid in computer class, and he told me to look up Blue Waffle.
Oh no. You definitely don't look up Blue Waffle.
He
at
done
school.
tricked me. Yes, I am the
I
fool.
don't recommend you doing it.
You
Fool.
fool. You fall for
Also,
my roof.
another Union story. There was a girl that just for whatever reason was looking up girls in duct tape outfits,
Oh,
so that guys over her shoulder would be looking.
weird. Also,
I don't
who's
know what the
Poops?
purpose was. They were paying attention to what she was looking up, not her. So I don't.
Who was Poop Stain?
Poop stain. Fucking.
That was Joey Masterson.
What was her name? It was a girl. I was in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. They pulled all of the girls out of the 7th and 8th grade, and they had the nurse smelling their hands, and we were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Apparently, some girl had just shit in her hands and then smeared it all over the walls of the bathroom. So she got the name Poop Stain, but I don't remember her actual name. I do remember Poop Stain though.
You know, for her sake, it's probably good that you don't remember her actual name.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna say
Don't
it,
Yeah, we don't necessarily want that to be known.
but yeah,
so.
Poop Stain. That's a core memory for me because they found who it was by sniffing their hands.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of Poop Stain, when we went to the bank today, Hannah went up to the ATM, and the guy who was using it in front of her had a bunch of poop stains on the back of his pants.
That's hot.
I feel bad for that guy.
I'm gonna use
Why
these
did you-
pants to strain some noodles.
Why did this man shit himself and then go to the bank?
I mean, where else are you gonna go?
Going like golfing or some shit. He's like that kind of guy.
Yeah, he did have the like golf fit on. Maybe he
Didn't
shit
you use
himself.
the ATM behind Trump?
And then he had to go get all of his Benjamin. He cashed out element.
Cargill said, "Did you go to the ATM behind Trump?"
Golfing
More like
and
that,
covered in
that
shit
sounds more
stains?
like a Biden activity.
No, dude. Trump notoriously actually cannot control his bowels.
Really?
He wears
Yeah.
a diaper.
Shitty tighty whities, huh?
That's why he's so big.
No, he actually wears a diaper. 'Cause he's done so many drugs in his life, he cannot control his bowels.
That's hot.
That's information straight from the fucking what was his show called? Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
That was straight from the Celebrity Apprentice producers.
I 100% believe that he's the best fit for our president. They're just, it's hard to choose though. All of the options are so great.
It's so solid.
I've
Could you
definitely
imagine?
never felt more inspired to vote in my entire life. And that being said, I've never once been inspired to vote.
They also said that he used to poop his pants when he got mad. So could you imagine he's president and a war starts and he just gets pissed off and shits himself in the middle of a press
Right?
conference about it?
He's
He
like,
probably did multiple times. That's
Probably,
the
yeah.
thing. Like,
whenever he was making those weird moments, he was just defecating in his pants. Oopsie, I made a poopsie.
Actually,
oopsie, I made a
Someone
poopsie.
come and change my diaper.
Change me now.
Change me now and give me a McChicken and a KFC drumstick.
I walked in here and I said,
No, dude.
"Wow, that's a big
Not a
poop."
McChicken. He's a Big Mac's only guy. That's also from the producer of, or no, was it Quarter Pounders? I don't know. It was cheeseburgers. It was either Quarter Pounders or Big Macs.
Watch out.
But that's also
when
from the
cold air hits
producer
my
of The
buns,
Apprentice.
I start leaking like a geyser.
Like a
I may hit
geyser.
you
Oh
with my hydrant.
no.
Okay, it's like a firefighter's in here spraying away.
There was also something about one of his WWE appearances, him shitting himself in the middle of the rain.
That's hot.
Because he was wearing a diaper. Yeah, Trump sucks. Biden also kind of sucks.
Everyone sucks. Have you
Everyone
seen-
kind of sucks.
Have you seen
If
all the...
if they're a politician, they suck. If they're a non-politician trying to be a politician, they suck.
have you seen,
Especially if they're wealthy.
have you seen all the flack gopers getting about buying up all the land in Maui?
Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Did
Her
you
and The
also
Rock.
see the video of the kids disappearing off the school bus?
I don't want to talk about that.
No, what
That
the
was
fuck?
deeply upsetting.
I saw it on TikTok. There was a video of this bus driver. He's talking to the kids, telling them to sit down, turn around. The kids are sitting down, turning around. He's like, we need to be facing forward, all that. He almost gets into a car crash, right? He's doing a whole turn thing, and then he stops the bus, and he looks up into the mirror, and is like, is everyone all right? And like right after the sounds of whatever crash he's trying to avoid start, all of the kids disappear.
What the
It was
fuck?
deeply upsetting.
Yup. All the kids disappear. He's looking up, looking around for him, can't find him, has no idea what the heck. It's literally one frame they're there, the next frame they're gone.
It was the Rapture.
That
Jesus
has to
came
still
back
go.
and he
The
took all the
Rapture.
kids.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of other
Nick,
connected
didn't you
videos.
send
that were a
that
bunch
TikTok
of
to me
people.
and say that people were saying it was the Rapture?
Yeah, there's a
No.
whole like website dedicated to it now.
I swear someone sent me that TikTok and was like, people are calling this the Rapture.
They're saying
Well,
billions of people have disappeared. But I don't believe that because I feel like we would have noticed.
right.
Yeah, my parents are still here.
Right? I mean,
Unless I've
I'm
been-
definitely not going away if it
Unless
was a
you've been more
rapture,
fooled
but-
than you thought you were.
Maybe it's the aliens.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe
Mass alien
the
abduction.
video is edited.
Please.
It
Hey.
could be, but I don't know. It's fairly convincing.
Occam's razor, simplest solution,
Oh, also
edited
Wish.
video.
Maybe if it was like for a movie thing, but there's also like police body cam footage of the guy who reported to the scene when the guy called and was like, all of my kids have disappeared off my bus.
Focus. It's a spirit box.
Is
I
there
have a very
spirits here?
hard time believing something like that could be real.
Me as well, but I mean, it's more
Like, unless
convincing
a
than
bunch
lot
of
things
parents
I've
come
seen.
forward and be like, hey, our kids are all missing. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
That
It's hard
was-
to find anything outside of the one bus
right? And, like,
camera video and the body
you would think
cam,
something
and
like
then
that, if it was real, would have made national news.
standby guy who happened to be filming it because the bus driver was frantic and basically yelling at the cop that the kids disappeared.
It was
Yeah,
deeply
I
unsettling, and
don't,
try not to think
I don't know about that one.
It was. I'm just saying, you know, very convincing, interesting watch. Some scary stuff I sent you on TikTok as well, Nick. That's good. If we want to do another spoopy thing at some point,
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
F216.
there's some good stuff.
This right here.
I only send you the stuff that gives me a tingle down my spine.
A little spine tingle.
Yeah, a little spine tingle.
A little
I'll send it to
spingle.
you.
I also want to watch horror movies at some point.
We should also watch more nukes at some point, because that's just fun in general. I don't know if he's got any new stuff out yet, though. I dropped a piece.
Is next week the?
I think
Yeah,
so. I was
next
gonna
week,
say
dude.
Next week, right?
Yeah, we gotta plug that hard.
Nick, have I cannot remember if I did or not. Did I send you the portion of money I needed to send you?
No.
Okay.
Go.
Let me pay my
Bruh.
bills with this paycheck I'm getting, and I'll let you know.
No,
I
you
should be
just-
able to.
You take your time on it. You do what you need to do.
Yeah, I just
Don't-
couldn't
don't
remember,
worry.
so I wanted to make sure to ask. What time are we supposed to show up to this place?
So check-in is, I believe it said 5 to 7 p.m.
Okay. I did talk to work. I am able to get out at like 12:30 from work that day.
Okay. And that's a Tuesday.
The 10th.
Oh, but that's fall break for me, so I don't even go
Yeah.
to school on the 10th.
Yeah, I have work that day. I do have to be at work at 7:50 a.m. the next day as well.
So, I mean,
So,
we
early
probably
leave for me.
we probably don't have to stay all night, but we should stay at least long enough to try and get some ghost evidence because
Good
I
portion.
want to get some ghost evidence.
Yeah.
I want to be convinced that
We have
Yeah.
spent years building our credibility, our reputation.
I want to be convinced that I don't have to be cynical about everything.
Well,
I have
you don't.
Spirit Box. I have the digital voice recorder for EVPs.
Cool.
I got them goosenecks
Nice.
still in their packages. I
Nice.
got that's the Spirit Box. The EMF, and I got the lav mics. They're all here. Everything's here. So we
I'll
are ready to go as long as everything's charged.
I'll just need to figure out how to get, because I'm pretty sure I can live stream YouTube on my phone, right?
Should be able to, yeah.
Yes,
I'll
you
just have to
can. If
get-
you open the YouTube app and you go to Create down at the bottom in the middle, there should be a Go Live button.
Cool. Okay, I'll have to sign. I'm not signed into my streaming.
Same
one
same
on my
goes to
phone.
the Twitch app
Cool.
on mobile.
So
Alright.
this is the gooseneck because Cargo I know was a little confused about it because his dad was too.
We looked them up online and did not find the same things that you found.
Yeah. So it has a harness that goes over your shoulders, around your back, clips in the front, like this.
Oh yeah, I've used these
it's
for
weird.
hunting with lanterns. Well,
Yeah, and it
flash
um,
things.
then this goes on here, and then this is the camera holder that goes at the front of the gooseneck,
Cool. Cool.
and it squeezes.
Is it spring activated or twist or?
It's twist.
Okay.
All of the ones we found were just the chest piece. They didn't have the actual like gooseneck coming out of it.
It also rotates
I think
all the
that's
way
looking
around.
better.
Cool.
So if you needed to turn your camera for some reason, you can.
Face
I
shot.
don't have one for me
Face
because
shot.
I'm not streaming.
Cool. 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 Cool.
There
I'm
we
really
go.
excited for this. Everyone in chat, tell everyone you know about this because it's gonna be super exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
Question.
It's biggest thing we've done in a long time. Biggest thing we've done for the
I was
podcast.
gonna say biggest thing I think we've done for the podcast for sure.
Yeah.
Biggest thing we've done as bros in a long time.
My boss is super like scared of ghosts and superstitious and stuff. Do I tell her that I drove from this place to work?
Yes.
Maybe.
Like I was only there for a good portion of the night. Like
Yes.
I didn't bring
I
anything
only
with me.
absolutely
Surely.
brought home 17 dead spirit ghosts.
I definitely didn't walk in and go, "What's up, ghosts? It's your boy."
What's up, demons? It's me.
I definitely
Yo,
didn't
boy.
walk in and say any of these fuckers ever come out of the ceiling and have a huge cum shot.
All right. Well, I have to eat some food and get ready for an early day of tomfoolery tomorrow. It was a good, short little one. We got about 2 hours in on my side.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty close
That's not
to
bad
average.
at all.
Any final remarks to the stream, boys?
No.
Not for your stream.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, let me open up your chat real quick. Am I allowed to plug our band?
Yeah, feel free.
Hell yeah, dude.
Will that chat show up if anyone views this video after I'm done live? Like if they go back and view it?
If you have chat replays on.
Okay. I have no idea if I do, but we'll find out.
All right. Well, so to Chance's chat, there is a YouTube link to the first live performance of the band that I play bass for and Nick sings vocals for, called Osteopsychosis. We sing Creep by Radiohead and Diamonds and Rust by Judas Priest. So check that out and look out for more stuff coming from us. And now I'm going to send it in my chat as well. Here you go, chat. Here's the there's the link. What? Oh gosh darn it. Okay, hold on. I gotta do it on my phone because things are dumb.
Alright, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Everyone remember, never forget the poop dollar. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Never forget the poop dollar, and never forget that we're hunting ghosts next week.
Yep, hunting ghosts the 10th.